Here we are in the northeast corner of Victoria at a place called Shepparton. It's the Mammoth scale model fly-in. Now, to have an aeroplane to fly here, it's got to have a minimum of an 80-inch wingspan, and it attracts the cream of model aircraft makers right round Australia. The Shepparton Mammoth Scale Fly-In is just one of the many events held each year all around the country. But this is one of the most popular, a two-day social gathering for enthusiasts who have a passion for large-scale and semi-scale radio-controlled aircraft. Except for a daily raffle prize, there's no trophy to win here, just plenty of good company and flying with others who share a common interest. Many radio-controlled modelers make this event a must-do destination, and some, like Graham Simpson, have been making the pilgrimage to Shepparton for years.
We've been up here for about for 15 years now, every year, same time in September. And it's just a great place to be. And generally the weather's like this. We've got one thing at the whole time was one year it was wet, but everything's always like this. Beautiful. Yep.
And tell me, what's your fascination for big aeroplanes?
Fascination is to see them all together, and of course the bigger the better, they say. And of course the bigger planes fly a lot more scale. They look better. You can relate to them in the sky. So to see them all together is just, you know, magic. It's just much, much better. We go to our own clubs, you see smaller planes all the time, but very rarely you see all the big ones together. Yeah.
And you love this meet? You're going to keep coming?
Oh, I keep coming, mate. Absolutely love it. It gets you on a bit of a high.
The wide variety of radio-controlled aircraft range from warbirds, which are replicas of World War I and World War II aircraft, ultralights, recreational planes and commercial aircraft, like this magnificent Douglas DC-3. Many of these models have been painstakingly built from scratch, sometimes taking the modeler months or even years to complete. Now, Darren, this looks absolutely fantastic. Just tell me a little bit of its history.
Well, we needed a big glider tug to tow up some 8-metre gliders, and I had a cub which wasn't powerful enough, so it was suggested to me that I build a big bird dog, and we started with quarter-scale Bailey aviation plans and blew them up to third scale, had a short kit cut, and the rest of it's been scratch built from there. It took 18 months to do the construction, and we've had about 6 months of flight testing with it. It's got a 3W150 motor. We've propped it down a little bit to try and slow it down because it was too powerful. We've stuck a gyro on the rudder to help control it because bird dogs are renowned for being hard to fly. The surface covering on the fuselage is flight metal from America, and I cheated a little bit on the wings by using Pro Film Chrome, and I picked a scale scheme from the Canadian Air Force. They use it as a glider tug in the Canadian Air Force.
Wonderful. Now tell me, your passion is obviously big. So where did this big passion come from?
Well, I'm surrounded by people that build big planes, and so I just had to fit in. So yeah, this is the biggest plane I've built to date, and my wife said it's the last one I'm building for quite a while.
Not all aircraft here have been scratch built or constructed from a kit. Many these days are straight out of the box ARF kits, which means almost ready to fly. ARF kit started in the beginner's arena as a quick and cheaper way to get in the air, but they've come a long way since then, and some very respectable aircraft are available in ARF form, like this monster 4-engine B-51 Liberator.
Together and so forth. But nowadays, as you'll see around the field here, the planes come already built. In other words, this big Liberator here with 4 engines comes in parts, it's fully covered, and you just plug the parts together. And the maker in China is a mad keen scale modeller, and he saw this Liberator bomber in a museum in England, and he went back to China and he contacted me and he said, I'm going to build you a big aeroplane. So here it is, and I went to he's got his own little flying field, and and then we shipped it to Australia, and so it's been flying now for 2.5 years.
Events like the Shepparton Mammoth scale fly-in are just one of the many facets of the world of model radio-controlled aircraft. But before this, you need to make a start. And to do that, we need to go back to the beginning.